All right, so hello, and right now I'm going to give you a quick intro or a presentation about what has been done in the basically with the all the user research data that we collected. How did I sort this mess? How did I take this input from different sources? And I'll try to be concise so that I don't go into detail. So basically, I just prepared a really quick slides without any details, but I will go through the insights as I talk. Okay, cool. So first of all, right now, just to explain the situation, we've got all these insights from the user interviews, from the surveys, and from the secondary search. And plus, I did a little bit of a market checkup. And based on these four sources, here are the insights. So I usually start always with the persona, because persona is basically for whom we are designing this whole journey. So from the persona starts the journey, starts the problem, starts the solution, and basically designing for particular people. I always start with people. That is why here we start with the persona, and usually the first step I do is I was taking all the data that we've collected, making billions of notes, and here's just a quick screenshot about the note taking process. And basically, if I try to explain this whole note-taking thing, is that first of all, I've created this document where kind of based on all the interviews, I started to see the patterns of the user answers, people answers. In their answers, I figured that there are different types of inquiries or requirements. For example, some people have these values and other people that values. So I kind of started to categorize their answers. Okay, these one are values. Another one is onboarding process for different people. Another one is what people look in the product, and so on, so on, so on. How they search, what their fears, and their nuances. Basically, yes, I started by patternizing the qualities of what they are looking, how they are looking, and then I started to just use this table with different axes. So as you can see here, it's a little bit messy, but just to explain you the process is that you can see this gray was Jess, this blue was Pedro, this orange was Isa, and green Melissa. Basically, I was positioning, I was setting the qualities. Let's say quality or a brand story, Amazon or craft, shipping or important is not important, style, classy, style, homey. I kind of was using these axes to have to position these as opposite directions and position all of these people who were talking to me in this scale. And then I was looking for patterns, where people are located, what is the common insights, what the different insights, because again, based on the document that I have probably seen, I can send you the link again. Each of these people react differently, but definitely there are patterns, and we just need to define which patterns are we taking, what persona we are going for to focus on, because people will have different user scenarios and inquiries, and we need to prioritize the persona that we're designing for. And I can go ahead before showing the details that we actually have really two different opposite personas. And yeah, let's see what are our challenges. Anyway, here I started to just basically brainstorm out all these insights. Based on these patterns, based on this data, I started to write down who do I see it, what is this common kind of mix of the people, what are these patterns, what kind of persona they represent. And basically this is just first persona. And if you remember, again, this is a persona called inspiration-based persona. And if you remember, here on this quantitative research where we collected data from the surveys, we figured that there are three type of people. And to be honest, I understand that we cannot focus on three of them, but we definitely need to focus on the inspiration-based. And in a matter of fact, when we were talking to the people, I understand that another really strong other persona is practical approach, because specific, it's like straight to the point, and most probably they will go to Amazon. But practical approach is something that we can consider in our case as a brand, as a smaller choice brand, right? Because we don't have so many items to offer. So I'm gonna focus on these two personas. One is inspiration based and another is practical. And here is actually we have two stories. This is a user story. So user story number 1 and number 2. Let me go quickly one by one. This is a very concise vision of the user stories. Later I will go through the whole personas. So let's imagine we have inspirational and style-oriented persona. Her name is Maria, and she wants to buy a new sofa online, but because she needs to update her room according to her style, she's very, very caring about the style. And unfortunately, she's afraid to buy online, to order stuff online, because she cannot check the quality. She's really suspicious about the quality. She doesn't know if she can trust it. And many, many websites, with its own experience, with the way it looks, with the way it feels, kind of gives her an idea that the quality will not be as she expects. So for her, it's really, really much more important to go and touch it, understand if the picture is the same as in reality. And that's the story number 1. And the second story is Matthias. When Matthias wants to buy a lot of stuff online, because basically he buys a lot of stuff, but recently he moves to a new apartment. It's kind of empty. He needs to buy a lot of stuff, and he's afraid to buy online because he needs to trust the service. He has some trust issues. He has a lot of requirements, and when he goes online, he can kind of read information, kind of check it out, but he doesn't really trust the website until he buys from it. And let's go now and see the details about each of these user stories and personas. So story, actually I put them together, but I will try to focus here and there. We have, again, inspiration-based and style, inspiration together with a style-oriented persona and practical approach. Let's start with the Maria, who is the edge. Let me do like this, okay? So, okay, let's start with the Maria. Her initial quote is that she's really, really inspiration based. She's always looking through different social media touch points. She never starts searching from, or like for her, let's say, sofa from Amazon. She never starts searching from Google. She actually starts with mood boarding, which means she goes to Pinterest, she goes to Instagram. It's very easy to touch her feelings. She's very sensitive. She's very emotional about all this, and it's really all about feelings. It's really all about providing that feelings that she's looking for, and. She's kind of an extroverted person. She is a typical millennial, pretty often buys online. She loves social media interactions and meet with her family. She's valuing good relationships, and she really, really hates cheap stuff. She's caring about quality very much. The thing is that since she's a very style-oriented, she is looking for particularly good quality stuff that is according to her lifestyle and her status. So for her, it's very important how people will see her, how she's looking, how's her style perceived, is it cheap, because she doesn't want to look cheap. So for her, yeah, again, the feelings are very, very important. And basically the quote is here: I could see myself in that sofa I found on Pinterest, simply because she's always looking for stuff starting from Pinterest. She's looking for feelings and the way it looks. And when she finds what she's looking for, like say in Pinterest, she finds this perfect sofa, she wanted it, and basically she wants to already, she felt that this is a perfect sofa for me. She clicks on the link in that image in the Pinterest, and she goes directly to the product page on the website. So basically she never starts her journey from the homepage. She never starts from the page where it's written like, here's we're marketplace in Mexico, we're selling these kind of things. She doesn't care. She found a sofa, she immediately needs to check it out and maybe buy it. So that's the thing about Maria. She starts from inspiration. And basically, in terms of her personality, she's very active. She travels. She has a lot of friends. She values some growth, sports. She's a really, really active girl, very entertaining and vivid, as you can see. Again, extroverted. But let's talk more about her specifics, right? So her goal is to update her apartment according to her style, status, and lifestyle. She likes to be recognized. So people who comes to her home, they need to say that, oh, Maria, she's always she's having this great style. She always manages, even though she's busy and she's always doing something, she's so active, she still manages to find this super good thing, super quality. Doesn't it looks like she spent a lot of money on it, even though we know that she can spend not so much money on it because it still looks good, right? So people need to say about her that she is amazing. She has this style, and since it's important for her to create this image, she loves home parties. She invites friends. So she's a very, very outgoing person. Frustrations. Actually, she experienced that sometimes shipping is not reliable. For example, she's afraid that people can steal stuff under her home. For example, she's at home or she's outside, and she doesn't trust people. Basically, she doesn't trust this home delivery. She says that it could happen that other people can, I don't know, whatever she buys. Let's say she buys a lamp, and then somebody passing by her home saw this lamp, grab it, that's it. And when she's getting home, there is no lamp anymore, and she cannot prove that it was delivered, even though it says in the system it was delivered. She cannot prove that it was taken. Somebody could take it. So she's kind of having these fears, really. And again, another frustration is quality, because every time she comes to the website, she understands that this is just the pictures. Why should I trust you? It looks great. I want it. But she reported, actually, as a second, she and another person reported both that, when they come to the website, they maybe even like it, but they are not ready to buy it because they still don't feel it. They see the website, they like the price, they like the pictures, they like, the colors, the sizes, but that's not enough, because why should I trust you? Is this quality just a picture, or if it's actually the reality, if it's the same qualitative as it looks like? So yeah, that is why for her it's very important to make sure she has this frustration that she's not sure that she can buy from here. Product priorities. So again, as she is intuitive, inspirational person, she needs to have a very, very many visuals. She needs to have videos, pictures, prices, sizes. She needs to make sure that it fits her apartment. Again, she also said, since she's like looking for pictures, it's so important to her to have related options under. Let's say she found this sofa. Now immediately she doesn't need to go into reviews. She doesn't care about reviews, actually. She needs to see what will fit this sofa. She needs to see, okay, this kind of table goes well with this sofa. This kind of lamp is really good with this sofa. This kind of, I don't know, maybe some how do you call it? I forgot the word. Anyway, the textures. Yes, the textures goes with the sofa, and decoration goes with the sofa. So she needs to see what other things is related to this style, because like bingo, she finds this style she likes. Now she wants to see everything that can fit this style, because she needs to look stylish, okay? So yeah, again, materials are very important to her, and she's kind of this emotional person. Then when she loves the subject, when she finds everything that fits her apartment, she doesn't care about reading all of the information. She doesn't care about text and doesn't care about nuances or details. What she cares if it's quality, if I can feel it, if I can touch it, if the materials are good, and if everything goes well, she trusts you, she feels like you're trustable, she instantly will check out. She will not wait until she come back, think about it again, compares to other things. She will immediately check out. So yes, she's the one who will need one-click checkout without registering their profile. And values. It's gonna just repeat what I already said. She needs status, comfort, style that reflects her lifestyle, quality, product story. She doesn't care. Human support. She also, as she's like emotional, she needs a human connection. She needs to hear that people value her, and when she comes to the website, she wants immediate reaction if she have a question. And for her fears, again, as well as the frustrations, extra cost shipping. She doesn't want to have to pay extra for shipping. She's afraid there's going to be poor material, poor customer support, the style is not going to fit her, and maybe somebody will steal her parcel. An acquisition channel for her is social media, always. it's gonna start either with Pinterest or with Instagram. Top one choices for her is Amazon and Gaia because it's kinda McDonald's, right? You always know what to expect from them. But she's actually really a person who can trust brands. She can go to the brands. Even though Gaia and Amazon win in her mind, she always think, okay, if I need to buy a sofa, I will go to this site. But it's not really like the choice of her dream because for her, it's kind of sometimes easier to choose these sites because she knows that if she spends time, she can find what she's looking for. But it's much, much better and much more pleasurable to her go directly to the brand she trusts. And our opportunity is to start with the social media, which you maybe already know and understand. We can win her if we always appear in her feed. If she finds a perfect sofa in Pinterest, or if she always go to Instagram and see constant updates and see these beautiful things that can fit her style, then we can win her top mind. Then at some point, if we really appear very frequently in her search or in her feed, then she can really kind of cancel or forget about these options because otherwise this is not her top choice. It's just like most trustable choices for her. Okay, that's enough for this persona. Let's go to the practical persona, which is interesting because they have a lot of in common, but they still have very opposite needs, and that's interesting how we're gonna fit this all together in order to create the experience. So who is Matthias? Matthias is this friendly guy. He's a little bit family guy, right? He has a dog, he lives in a family, he has a wife. He really cares about deep connections and the quality time. His personality is a little bit conservative. He's kind of probably a bit older and more mature. He's a little bit more practical and very thoughtful person. So he really cares about details. He needs to read, he needs to compare, he needs to make his mind. And he likes to be, he doesn't mind that people think that he's nerdy and that he's knowledgeable because he understands that if he does something very well, and he really cares about it. And the good thing about Matthias is that he is very loyal to the products or brands he chose. So if once he decided that, let's say, I love McDonald's, he will always come back to McDonald's. The thing is, he will never choose McDonald's because he cares about quality. But if he chooses the brand, he will always recommend it and he will always buy from that brand. And the common thing with him and Maria is that they both like qualities. So they both really care about how this material, they need to touch it. They need to make sure that this material is great and that the product is not only good on the picture. And the thing about him is that since he's conservative, he takes much more time to make a decision. He is not so sensible and or emotional as Maria. So he takes his time, he reads a lot. Here's the quote about him. I actually took this from the interview that Sergio did. And the quote is, "I love to review and compare stuff online, but I prefer to visit store before buying." That is a quote that really characterizes him. He will need to only trust you once. He will need to only buy it once, and his mind will always be with you. But again, it's very hard to get him because he needs to think a lot. And so, what about his personality? He's this 31 years old guy, he's married, lives in a 2-room apartment, his income is a little bit higher than Maria's. His personality is introverted, he's very thoughtful, he's realizing an intuition, and he's kind of judging. And basically, his situation is that he's moving to a new apartment and some stuff is missing, that I already said. Before buying something, he takes time and he's looking for durable, qualitative things, which is, again, the most common thing with him and Maria. His frustration is that, I actually forgot to write this, so it's the wrong one. Doesn't matter. Okay, sorry. Here. Okay, so it doesn't matter it. Product priorities. He's very keen on the details. For him, it's very important to see that this website is trustable. If he trusts this website on the first site, and he trusts this website called Amazon and Gaia just the same as the previous persona, Maria, he trusts this because he knows that these guys, these two websites are, yeah, he can rely on them. They have all the information he's looking for, and oftentimes they have also the product he's looking for, the style of the products. By the way, I forgot to mention that Maria, she doesn't always find what she likes in these websites. That's why we can easily win her with these acquisition channels when we take her top mind. Okay, so this guy instead, he pretty much always finds stuff in Gaia or Amazon. So for him, it's not a problem. These websites are not a problem. And why he likes these websites? Because they offer very deep information about warranty, support check. He knows that in Amazon he can find everything. It's like, you know, it's a Google for everything. It's like a marketplace for everything. So he knows that for sure he will find and compare, and he likes to compare information about warranty, support, specifications, shipping conditions. He can zoom to the details. He can also, he knows that these are big marketplaces, so he can create his profile, and he can find a lot of reviews because people are often buying from these websites. That is why for us, it's a little bit harder to get this guy. And to be honest, I'm considering this guy or this persona as a second priority, as a secondary persona, and this girl as a first persona. This guy is good because he's loyal, so we still need him. He is very important to us. But unfortunately, he needs this mass market or like much bigger optional, much more options in order to find what he's looking for. However, and about his profile, it's also interesting because literally Maria, she prefers instant checkout, and he likes to create profile because he will feel it will be more secure. And for her, she doesn't care. She's just like, give it to me right now. So it's opposite again. And the thing about them, which are opposite, is that she doesn't need details. She needs clear, beautiful, inspiring. Give it to me, I'm buying it. Where should I pay my money? And here, he needs a lot of information. He needs to compare, he needs to consider, he needs to take time, and he needs to have a profile. So these are like a critical points, which we will need to kind of consider together. And yeah, again, about his values, price and quality is important, durable, knowledgeable, social proof, fierce. Actually, in terms of fierce, he doesn't like long shipping. Again, he also hates poor quality, and he's afraid when he cannot find a lot of information. It's not like it's his fear, but it's some sort of it's his default expectation. And when this expectation is not met, he's kind of like, okay, I like this product, but unfortunately I have to go because, yeah, you don't have enough information for me. Okay, I hope these personas are clear. And let's go ahead with the challenges and requirements. Actually, these two personas inspired me to create this extra board. And I kind of divided this board into two parts. So first part is challenges that these personas have, and the requirements or design requirements for our product, for our solution. So let's start with the challenges. As you can see, I divided these old sticky notes into inspirational and practical. So you can see that on the left side, you will always see more practical needs. On the left side, right side, you will see more inspirational persona needs. And in the middle, you will see the what do they need both. This is like kind of gradient from the practical to inspiring, and in the middle, something common, right? So let's start with the practical, right? And the practical guy, he's always saying, like, I need to think about it. Where inspirational person, Maria, she say, I don't want to think about it too much. So it's kind of interesting because they have these opposites. He needs to read, he needs to think. She doesn't need to read, she doesn't need to think. Interesting, right? Now, in the middle, they both really, really care about quality, which is a kind of good side. But for Maria, the quality needs to be shown in the pictures, in the videos, in the very, very, very immersive experience. And for him, it's more about reading. He's kind of more nerdy guy. Now, Secondary, for the practical guy, he needs details, shape, and warranty sizes, and she needs to kind of see. All she cares about, Maria, inspirational girl, all she cares about is to find the perfect style. It's like, find it the perfect style immediately, and I'm ready. So he needs to read again, he needs to get to learn it, and she needs to find this perfect one, perfect match. And what's the common thing for him? They both need shipping for free and as soon as possible, which is, I guess, very normal expectation on the market. Everybody expects it. And also they both want a good communication. So for them, it's very important to have a human communication, more for her, more for Maria. She cares about WhatsApp or even Skype calls. She really wants to talk to you if she have a question. She doesn't want to talk to the robot. She wants to talk to the real people who will answer immediately, and she will immediately make her mind. And actually for us, it's important to have this kind of human support because she's kind of emotional and she's ready to bite if she likes the conversation immediately. And I think that's much more profitable for business, right? And finally, challenges. Also, the Matthias, the practical guy, say, I need to see some reviews and okay, I didn't mention it here, but she doesn't need any reviews. She said that I don't care about reviews, I can find it in Instagram. Especially since she's coming from social media. If she's coming from Instagram, she already knows the reviews. But yeah, this is another kind of controversial thing about them. But they both repeat the same thing. They say, I need to touch it, I need to feel it. So one of our biggest challenges is to create on the website the feeling of touch. So people really need to feel like, okay, I kind of touched it, I kind of believed it, right? Okay. And by the way, it's a little bit of a side note, but basically both of them said that the website, why Gaia is so perfect, because it has all the things in balance. I was showing different websites to them. One is Cool Home or like basically all our market offering. I was showing to them different websites, and each of them was a little bit two of this, two of that. While Gaia has a mix of all. For example, our user testers said that it shouldn't be too clean. Many websites are too clean. It shouldn't be too cheap. Many websites offer discounts here and there. It shouldn't be too crazy, like too conceptual, because it's not practical, I think. So it kind of has to have this mix of everything. Yeah, not too clean, not too crazy, not too bold, not too not too colorful. It should be in the middle of everything, which is it's an interesting challenge because we are a brand and we need to position. We should create this emotion. Now let's talk about requirements, and I also divided it by green and orange. And these are requirements that we'll need to try to meet in our concept. And so, first of all, for the practical guy, he needs to feel it as well as a practical girl, but inspirational girl. But the inspirational girl, she can buy it without touching it. She of course wants to feel it online. She wants to feel it without going to the store. She needs to feel it, but the guy, practical, he actually needs to go to the store. So one of the ideas, one of the requirements that we can try to meet is actually trying to maybe invite them to the store. If they like the product, if they like the pictures, what if we try to hook them in a way that, hey, leave your number phone and we will call you and invite you for the tour, let's say. Maybe we can kind of start building the relationship with him, because if we attract him and if he's ready to take the next step, but he just needs to touch it, what if we actually take him to this store and give him this touch? I think that would be one of the potential way to consider, but again, this is a question to the logistics and delivery and all this, business stuff. That's a question to you, but I believe that maybe by inviting people to the store, that will help us, especially with a practical guy who needs to touch it, but without touching he will not buy, and he's loyal. if we actually invite him and he likes it and he wants to buy it, he'll stay loyal to our brand kind of forever, and he will also recommend it. So why don't we take this step in and meet him and meet his needs. Another thing for him is kind of clean and linear specifications. Linear, I wanted to say, is like visually linear because he really likes the specifications Gaia has. They have everything in the same black line, everything is super clean, black and white, and specific. So that's what he liked, and we can kind of, one of the requirements is trying to give it to him. Again, which is a controversial to Maria, but we will see how we can find this balance. Now, both of them really need immersive experience, so we can try to experiment and see. When we implement it, we can test it in different users. If we can create the 3D VR video, Insta hashtag something, so that people really see it in reality, not just beautiful white clean pictures that you produce, because what you produce is beautiful, it attracts, but they start to need trust in it, and to trust it you need to give them very immersive experience. And actually the cheapest way would be to use Instagram or hashtags. For example, people who already bought it, reward them with some discount or whatever, so that they can discount for, let's say, putting this sofa into their social media feed. Let's say if they post it in the social media feed and tag you, so that you can drop this tag into the website. If you can reward them with a discount or something, that will actually help the new coming people to start trusting you, because they could already see it in the context. They can see if it's actually somebody buys it, if somebody likes it, if it's how it looks in different interiors, so it kind of creates this real feeling. Another thing is, I already mentioned it to you in the call, that we need to get their data without creating profiles. Because, for example, inspirational girl, she will not create profiles. She doesn't need it. She needs instant checkout. But we still need to hook them. We need to hook them because it was clear from the conversation that sometimes they like the product, but they are so emotional that they can go away and forget about it. Somebody calls, I don't know, mom calls to eat, dog calls to give me a food, I don't know, she needs to go to the college, she's having a meet, her friend is calling, and she gets distracted. But she likes this product, but she forgets about it. And one of the ways to do it is kind of hook them, and there are actually, these two cards are very similar. It's just that this card is also for practical guy. So we need to get their phone or email. And if we take their phone, we can remind them of the products they liked. For example, if we notice that she stays on this page for a long time, if we notice that her IP address we use cookie, right? So we can understand that she didn't close this tab. She just left it in her Chrome, let's say, and it was there for a while because she forgot about it, or she wanted to buy it but she needed to compare with something else. So she likes it, she didn't close it immediately, and we can use this data. And if we get her phone, her WhatsApp, her email, her Instagram account, we can kind of remind it to her. So we need to get her data. And delight means also that first we can just remind the email or phone, but then the third email, it could be like a sales funnel, that in the third mail, if she still didn't decide to buy it, we can also give her a discount or something like this, because we need to hook them. We cannot convert from the first site. We need to take some time and kind of convince her with different things. Okay. So as you can see here, a requirement for inspiring people, inspirational person, is that it needs to be very simple selection. When she's looking for stuff, let's say she's coming through the homepage, she doesn't want to, for example, she's coming from the Instagram link in the bio. If she goes to her website, she doesn't have patience to search with like search engine. She doesn't have patience to go through the filters, the price. She just needs to see the perfect style, perfect collection, click on it, and immediately get her product. immediately. So yes, simple selection process. And engagement, I already mentioned to you that we need to, when they come to the page and it's all get good, but it's not enough to buy, we need to start asking them to invest. Small action, but big reward. For example, I will show you the ideas I was having, but one of the idea would be maybe to add it to a Pinterest board, or maybe use hashtag to win it or something like this. We need to get engagement from them. Okay, I kind of talk a lot already, so I'm gonna go very quick through the other slides. To close it all. So here you will actually see the details because I don't want to talk about it too long. This was a potential customer journey for Inspirational Girl because it started from her. And this is a particular user journey when she lands from the Pinterest directly to the product page. She gets inspired on the Pinterest, then she learns about it, then we need to hook her with different ideas. Here are just ideas. Then she needs to decide. We can help you to decide with different kind of hooks. One is like money back guarantee. If she's buying a very heavy and expensive stuff and she's kind of afraid, we can prove her that you can get money back, no worries. She doesn't have to create profiles, so she doesn't have to, like, no strings attached, sort of. She doesn't have to invest too much time in it. And if she have any questions, we need to immediately answer in the video call, Skype or WhatsApp. She needs to feel that she is valued. So yeah, decision point and support. Again, it should be very human relationships. It's kind of, I mentioned here that maybe each buyer could be considered as a friend, so you can consult with me. Let's say I'm a support system, and if she writes me, I will immediately answer in the very casual style, not like you're my lord, Mr. Mrs., but like, hey, do you have a question? I can help you. A very, very friendly tone of a voice. And one of the ideas was also to make it exciting and gifts, promote them on Instagram, have like a very good relationship with them so that they get emotionally connected with you. Okay, my voice is a little bit hard already for talking. And here is actually design canvas page by page. I don't want to go through each of these pages because it's a lot of information. And I will still work on it further because, again, in the conceptual stage, this is like a definition stage. In the conceptual stage, I will try to define the ideas. Here are just a lot of ideas, a lot of things that might be there. Bestseller, style, la la la, social media, a lot of things. You can go through this yourself. But yes, in the conceptual stage, I'll try to dig into it much more. And finally, I also want to talk to you about the market. Where do we position? Because you already mentioned to me a couple of brands, and I kind of consider all of them. And for us as a business, it's important to understand where do we stand. Why should people trust us? Why should they come to our site? And how do we win them in front of others, right? So first of all, I just try to position all the brands that we know, which are the direct. Here's indirect, and and brands to look out for. I kind of didn't care about it. Anyway, so here is what I came up with, trying to understand who is actually our main competitor in what we offer. And in fact, based on these personas, I would also use access to position our brand. So we have wide choice and small collections, and we have inspirational or very practical websites, where the best example of practical would be Amazon, because Amazon is the website you can find everything. It gives you all the filters, it gives you all the details. It's very nerdy, but you can find all the information there. While inspirational is this kind of crazy, conceptual, inspiring website where you don't give too many information, too many details, but it gives people a feeling that they are coming for. And wide choice, again, it's perfect solution. Perfect option is like Amazon. It's a very, very wide range. Small collection is more about brands and more about offering something specific with a specific, style. So, our challenge, as you can see here, we have 3 brands on one corner and 3 brands on other corner. So they are like very, very opposite to each other. So Gaia and Amazon is opposite to La Carpinteria or Quell or Los Patrones, because these guys are offering something very, very specific. They don't have too many options. They have really limited collections. People come there because they need exactly that particular thing. But this is not mass market. This is not top mind choice. It's just in one particular case. In our case, as I understand from your words, it's kind of important for us to be in this very tricky situation because we are in the middle. We don't have too many options. We're not very wide. But we are both inspirational and practical. We need to be Gaia, but inspirational, and we don't have so many collections. We cannot offer huge amount of things with a lot of filters and search opportunities. So our challenge, and we actually are not alone in this zone. The closest brand to us is Perceptual. Also, Kazakh is trying to be there, and I think, I don't remember this name of a brand, but they all kind of in the same space because they have some kind of, it's not super small options, and they're kind of still a marketplace with these filters and still given this style, and each of them has its pros and cons. If I go further, I don't have enough time to go further, but if I try to evaluate each of these brands, I can say that Kazakh is kind of too clean. As you remember, our personas mentioned that it shouldn't be too clean. Kazakh is too clean. This brand is also, it's kind of very similar to Gaia, but it's really like, it's similar to Gaia, so Gaia is better, and they will lose into Gaia. They're just kind of getting lost. Perceptual has its style, and we have its style. Actually, we have a very similar logo, so we shouldn't be we shouldn't get lost with each other. People don't have to confuse us. We need to be a little bit more outstanding. So I would, in terms of branding, you mentioned that everything is already done in terms of branding. Let me know what is the definition or what is our differentiation in front of the Perceptual. But yes, thing is, we need to be sly because we are in the very much middle and people still need to think about it. Okay, actually I talked too much and I didn't plan to talk so many. So I want to finish this presentation with the biggest challenge that I'm seeing for the concept. And I will consider all of the nuances that I just went through, but we need to be a niche brand. We are still a niche brand, right? It's not like we're Amazon. So we're a niche brand, but we need to inspire with separate products and still stay practical. And this is our formula. And this is our main design brief that I'll try to keep in mind whatever I will create. I'll really need to keep this in mind. I'll put it somewhere on the wall and will orient on this particular challenge or brief while creating the product. Okay, so I hope this was informative. I really hope that you learned something from here. If you have any questions or confusions, or maybe you have anything to discuss with me, please let me know, and I will look forward to your feedback. And again, we can have a call soon. So after the feedback, I'll start working on the practical site and start working on information architecture. Cool. Thank you for watching it through.